Hello. Hello, everyone. We're all different in this realm. Our bodies are different. Our preferences are different. Our tastes, our hobbies, our likes, our dislikes, our eye color, hair color, height. Brains are different. Minds are different. Spirits are different. We're not all the same. We're not all the same. We're not all the same. We have different experiences. We have different views, different visions, different dreams. My version of heaven or paradise could be vastly different from yours, from his, from hers, from them over there. We're not the same. We're not the same. And you're going to have to face this if you're going to learn anything deeper in this realm. Because surface level beings believe that we're the same, that we're not different. We are different. I might experience things that people deny and say, well, that hasn't happened to me. I haven't seen that. I haven't experienced the Mandela effect, for example. They might say that. And I'll say, I have. I have. Well, we're in the same realm. It's the same, isn't it? Reality's the same for all of us. Everything's the same, isn't it? No. No, it isn't just the same. It isn't all the same. I might have a great imagination. I might be very creative, whereas others don't have any imagination in the same realm, called human beings, and they can't create anything. They could look at a blank sheet of paper and not come up with anything to draw out of imagination. And I could draw a whole scene out of my imagination. We're not the same. You have to get this through your heads on a deep level, and a lot haven't. A lot of you will just notice physical differences. It's beyond the physical. It's spiritual. It's mental. It's emotional. It's in terms of imagination, spirit. We're different in thousands and thousands of ways that most people have never looked at and never considered. And if you don't get past that, you're never going to understand what I'm speaking of. You won't understand this realm at all because you'll just think, well, if I haven't experienced it, it couldn't possibly be true. Because it didn't happen to me. And some of you think you're the yardstick measurement for all of reality, for everyone else's experiences. And I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. You're limited. Maybe you haven't experienced half the things or 1/1000th of the things that I have. Maybe I've experienced things that you never will in lifetimes here. That's a possibility that some of you have not faced. And I'm aware of this because you think we're all the same. You can't imagine something being true if you haven't seen it firsthand or experienced it. A lot of you humans are that way. You're very limited. You're not open-minded. You're very limited. You're in a little box. You're in a little prison cell that you insist on staying in. Very tiny-minded. And you want to be that way. You want to stay that way. You want to argue things are impossible if you haven't experienced it. You're thinking very small. Your view's very small, very tiny. And you think that's good, a lot of you. Now, there are exceptions on my channel. There's some that are not that way, that like to look at the big picture, examine possibilities, and will listen to someone like me and say, even if I haven't experienced that particular phenomena, I'm willing to say, Stephen has. He's talking about this, and it makes sense. But that's rare. Very few have that kind of mind to say, just because I haven't experienced it personally doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because you haven't gone to New Zealand or Australia or Tasmania doesn't mean those places don't exist. Because you, Joe, or you, Jane, haven't been there. But that's the way a lot of humans are. Mandela effect, that's not real. That can't be real. I haven't experienced changes. Can't be real because it hasn't affected me personally. That's the way a lot of you are. A lot of humans are that way. I would say most, the majority of humanity, which means you'll never see most of what I can see. Never. You've limited yourself. You put your own mind and vision into a tiny little box, which I would call a prison cell. You've imprisoned yourself. You don't even see it. You're not even aware enough to see that. You lack that self-awareness. Now on with the video, now that I've gotten that out of the way. This video is about the mind wipe, as they call it, or the memory wipe. Or is it quarantined memories? Now, which makes more sense? Are our memories really wiped out? Forgetting doesn't mean that they're wiped, just like you can forget a file on your hard drive. But it's still there. It hasn't been wiped. Your whole hard drive hasn't been wiped out. That image is still there, whether it's a picture or some kind of file or Word file that you might have written a list of things or written a poem or something, and you just kind of forgot the name of it or forgot where it was or forgot it was saved on your hard drive somewhere. Maybe it's even hidden in a hidden folder. You can hide files on hard drives on computers, Windows. Maybe it's hidden. Maybe it's just forgotten about, but it's still there. Hasn't been wiped out. Now, are our memories, do our minds work like hard drives? Do they work like computers? No, they don't. Computers are more logical in how they store files. If the files and folders were memories, right? Let's say video files and image files, JPEGs. I have tons of them, including ones I've created, including videos I've recorded. MPEGs, I also have MP3s, music, and sound files, sound effects, MP3s that I use for my videos. Do our minds and memories work the same way as humans, as computers do? No, they don't. See, our memories fade over time. You could have a crystal clear memory of your birthday when you're 7 years old, and you could remember your birthday a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, but it fades over time. My memory of my 7th birthday is nothing today like it was back then. Memories fade. Do they fade? Do files fade on hard drives? No, not really. Not on storage devices. I've had certain files saved on computers for years and years, and 10 years or longer, or saved on the internet somewhere. They didn't fade away. They're still the way they were. Music files, MP3 files that might be well over a decade old, well over that. Or other types of files, text files, for example, could be decades old, saved storage device. They haven't faded. Now, I'm not saying they can't become corrupted or something can happen. I'm aware of that. But I'm speaking about they work or they don't. They don't just fade and become less clear and foggy the way our human memories go. So what am I getting at? I'm trying to get at something here. I view it as our memories are being quarantined from past lives. Human memories don't work like a computer. And that is very revealing about this not being a simulation. Because our memories fade if this was just a pure digital simulation. If we were just video game characters, we wouldn't have fading memories, most likely. That wouldn't make any sense to program it that way. It would be very complicated to do that. And it wouldn't add anything. It would be very strange. But our memories do fade in this realm. Does that mean that we can't get all of our memories back from past lives and past realms once we're out of this matrix? I think we're going to, and I think there are clues. I suspect we're going to because of the evidence I've seen and because of my experiences, that there are ways that our memories will come back to us once we're out of here, out of these meat suit bodies here, and out of this matrix here that has a governor on us, our bodies, our minds, and our spirit. And this realm itself is like a governor on us. It affects us. It limits us. It limits us. It restrains us, including our memories of past lives and pre-birth, etc. Some people have bits and pieces, past life memories, pre-birth memories, which shows that's evidence that they weren't wiped out completely. Theirs weren't, and ours most likely weren't either. Yours and mine. Even if you have no memories of existing before this lifetime, you will probably get them back. It doesn't mean that they've been wiped out just because you temporarily can't access them. Just like if I put a password on your computer and encrypted all of it, the whole hard drive, let's say, the way you can do very easily with an external USB hard drive, you wouldn't be able to access we'll call them memories or files on that hard drive. But they're still there. They're still there. And I want to hammer this home. I hope it hits you hard, because you've been fed on these YouTube channels that your mind was wiped clean, that there's a mind wipe or a memory wipe. They call it one or the other. Some, like Howdy, call it one thing. They'll call it a mind wipe. Others will call it memory wipe. Some will call it the veil of forgetfulness, like Frank Monday, that creepy loser that loves to spit Big Macs out of his mouth and say gross things and talk with his mouth full, spitting it out, and just sickening. He calls it the veil of forgetfulness because he learned that from the mystery schools, and he's a programmed parrot. He's a robot. He hears, believes, and repeats what he's told. He doesn't think. He doesn't actually think for himself. He's not a critical thinker. All true thought is critical thinking. Critical. It's not just mere repetition. It's not just memorizing and regurgitating, repeating like a parrot or a robot. All true thought is critical thinking. That's what real true thought is, and they don't exercise that. They don't demonstrate that. They try hard to sound intelligent using vocabulary, but they are not demonstrating that they're intelligent thinkers. They're just repeaters. They go to mystery schools and they study and repeat. Okay? Now, what I'm getting at is I strongly suspect we will get our memories back. Who we were before we were here, what we experienced, who we knew, who we loved, who we disliked, maybe who we hated, who harmed us, who lied to us, who betrayed us, etc. Because I don't believe our memories have been wiped out the way that you could wipe a hard drive clean. I could wipe this hard drive clean on my laptop right now without even formatting it. There's software to wipe it and overwrite all of the data on the whole drive to essentially nuke the drive. And I know that nukes are a psyop, but that's an old computer term from hackers going back into the late 80s and 90s. Nuking the drive is different than formatting. No way to recover it. Not just getting rid of the fat table and formatting it, nuking it, overwriting it. Okay? I don't think that was done to our memories. I don't think that was done to us. I don't think our memories are stored in the brain. And there's reasons for this. Logical reasons that make sense, that a lot of people don't want to consider. There's reasons for everything that I say. If you pay attention, you might start learning that, but you really have to focus and pay attention and learn something. You might want to learn something. Now, to remember past lives, you wouldn't be using your current body's brain to remember what happened in a past life in a different body with a different brain. Okay? Like a child in India can remember someone as his wife. Well, his brain was a different brain in his past life when he was an adult married to her than in this lifetime. I don't think our memories are just stored in the meat, in the cholesterol, and the chemicals, and the synapses and neurons of the brain and the fatty material that's mostly cholesterol-based meat and water and some electricity and some chemicals mixed in. I don't think that's where our memories are stored. And that would lend credence to my idea that we can access past life memories because they're not stored in our current brain, in this current body, this current meat suit, in this current lifetime. We can access them the way that we could access files through a cloud, a Google Cloud or whatever storage system that's offline, all right, or is online, or is different from a hard drive. There are storage systems that way, clouds, where it's not on my computer, but I can access those files. Do you understand? This is a very simple way of putting it. So I'm not saying we're computers, but I'm using that as an analogy to help you understand. We can even wirelessly access using our smartphones these files that can be transmitted through the air. I believe it's something similar with our memories. So you take it for granted that technology is not magic. You can see how it works. You can download files when you're out in the woods using your smartphone if you have a connection. You could have a 5G connection. You could be near a fucking Starbucks and use their Wi-Fi, whatever the case may be. Wirelessly receive files, data, information. I think we can do that with our memories. I think that's what's going on. I don't think our memories are stored in the meat inside of your skull, the gelatin meat that's mostly cholesterol. I hope you understand. I hope you're starting to really pay attention. And that would explain how we can access past life memories and pre-birth memories. So what am I getting at here? I'm trying to get at something. I'm trying to help you understand something. If you pay attention. A lot of people throw around the term on YouTube, mind wipe or memory wipe, with the reincarnation soul trap. Now, I don't use these terms. I try to avoid using their terms because I think their terms are misleading and false. I don't think my memories have been wiped out. I think I will have access to all of them. I strongly suspect that, based on my experiences, based on my conversations with others that have past life memories, pre-birth memories, based on my research. I suspect that we will get our memories back just like people do during near-death experiences. They remember, which means their memories weren't wiped out because they're able to remember. They're not wiped out like a wiped hard drive. Okay? Are you following along with me? I really hope people are understanding this. I don't want to waste my time doing these videos with people that don't pay attention. I put a lot of effort and thought into this. You won't find this anywhere else. They'll just keep saying mind wipe, memory wipe, or veil of forgetfulness, passing through the veil of forgetfulness when we're reincarnated. They'll say all this stuff that I think is false. And I have reason to see it as false. So I hope you're paying attention. I hope you're learning something. I think my theories make the most sense and add up based on the evidence and the data. It matches up. Theirs don't. Prove to me that my mind has been wiped, or my memories, my consciousness, that I won't wiped. In other words, that I'll never get those memories back because they were wiped out and I'll never be able to access them again. Prove that to me. Where's your evidence? Where's your evidence that I'll never get memories of who I was before I came into this hell realm and what I experienced anywhere? Prove that to me. I don't think you can do it. There isn't proof for a mind wipe or a memory wipe. Also, they use soul trap. Well, I'm not a soul. I'm a spirit. I'm not tied to a body. I'm not anchored to this earth. They almost all use the term soul instead of spirit. So again, I'm different on my channel than they are. I say spirit. I'm a free spirit. I'm a sovereign spirit. I'm an eternal magical spirit. These are terms that I've used quite often for years and years here and before I had any YouTube channel making videos. Before the Sanity machine was created, I've called myself a spirit, a free spirit, an eternal magical spirit, without beginning and without end. I always was and I forever will be. They also call this a soul trap. I'll try to do the South African accent if I can. Soul trap. Soul trap. I can't do it very well, obviously. I'm not South African, and I haven't worked on the way he says it, but Makops, Kops, 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 or Kops. I can't stand that creature. He's creepy. But I disagree with the soul part and with the trap. I'm not trapped here. It's a trick, this place, but is it a trap? Because that misleads people to believe, oh, we're trapped here eternally. They're doom and gloom. They're saying we're trapped. They're saying I'm not saying that on my channel. Where have I ever said that we're trapped here forever and that there's no way out? Never. So it misrepresents. It's a way of getting people to avoid researching this topic, to be afraid of it. They're trying to make new people look at it and go, oh, I don't want to look into that. That's too scary. That's too doom and gloom. That's too black pill. I'm not going to look into the soul trap. I don't want to look into being trapped. And so they avoid the topic. It's a way of controlling things. It's a way of keeping people from looking into this topic, calling it a reincarnation soul trap. Now, do I think reincarnation is going on? Yes, I do. Do I think that the vast majority in this realm have amnesia? Yes, I do. I do. The vast majority of us have amnesia. It might not be 100%. It varies. Imagine that. For some people, it's 99%. For some people, it might be close to 100%. For some, they'll insist it's 100%. For others, it might only be 93%, 88%. They might remember a good chunk of who they were before coming here. They might remember multiple parts of past lives and pre-birth memories. That means it's not 100%. We're different. We're not all the same. Some of us have a bit more memory of before being here than others do. Some of us have pre-birth memories, which shows our memories were not wiped. Our minds were not completely wiped clean or wiped at all. I suspect that our memories are quarantined, but we will get access and remember again. Okay? I don't mean access using a computer, hacking the password. I mean, we'll get out and it will start flooding back to us, spiritually speaking, out of body, out of this matrix. Once we're clear and free of this matrix, this control system. That's a big part of what this place is a control system. Now, if you can control what beings can remember or can't remember, it makes it a lot easier to control them. Because they can't remember being free. They can't remember who they are, who they were. They can't remember being in, let's say, a beautiful realm of freedom. They can't remember being in a realm without money, without governments, without nations, without different races, without police, without courtrooms and judges and laws, without having the need to eat and drink water or drink fluids and use a bathroom and do this and do that. All the things here, the way this is designed and set up to control us. Most people can't remember anything other than what is here. And they also can't imagine anything being different from the way it is here, like Nacha Quifa on my channel several years ago when I started live streaming. And I said, well, I can imagine things being way better or better design, not having the need to eat food and eat life eating life. And he said, what would we eat then? Rocks? Because he couldn't imagine living any differently than the way this is designed. He has no imagination. He believes himself to be intelligent. He believes himself to be a truther or truth seeker, but he lacks imagination to even imagine life without having to eat other life, without having to go through hunger pains or starving if you haven't eaten for days or weeks or months, as some go through in this realm. He can't imagine a different design. And he's not the only one flawed or limited in that way that can't imagine better than this design or imagine many designs better. He has no imagination. He doesn't. I have a very powerful creative imagination. And I see many in this realm, like Nacha Quifa, who don't have that. And they demonstrate it with the way they react to things. When someone's trying to show them it could be designed so much better, they can't even imagine it. They can't do it. They're very different. And some of you will cry and get emotional and get upset and get in your emotions and get triggered, throw a tantrum and start pointing, saying, you think you're better than us. You think you know everything. You think you're perfect. You'll start doing that emotional stupidity, jealous, envious shit that humans do. Instead of just simply acknowledging, yes, some do have a greater imagination and their life shows it. What they create shows it. Whether they are drawing, painting, writing poetry, writing essays, writing books, making videos. I've done all of these things. Well, except for publishing full-on books. I'll take that part. Other than that, I've done all the rest. And I continue to show that I do have a great imagination. An infinite imagination, you might say. You don't have to believe me. My life demonstrates it. I already know that I'm speaking the truth, and I'm not boasting about it. But I'm aware that I'm different. I've always known that. There's many in this realm that can't imagine anything. And then there are some that can imagine if you kind of tell them a story and they can get into that. They're not writing the story, but they're hearing you. Just like when I was young, I'd read stories to my younger sister, her friends, and they would enjoy it. And sometimes I'd improvise and I'd ad lib and I'd change things in the story, or I'd intentionally change a word or misread a word on purpose to make them laugh and giggle because I thought that was funny. And they thought it was funny. They'd be laughing. And I like to make people laugh and entertain, but I'm not just an entertainer. And that's the part that I wish people would understand and would see it as more than just entertainment. But I suspect the majority of people that have been on my channels just try to use it as entertainment, and they don't know how to separate entertainment and comedy from truth, or see that it can be a mixture of both in one channel or in one video or in one live stream. They just can't. They can't see the multifaceted. They have a limited mind. And that's most on earth, unfortunately. Most human beings are very limited. They'll say that truth doesn't mix with comedy. Truth doesn't mix with what I do. You can't laugh at demons and still put out truth videos and truth live streams, and they just don't get it. They can't imagine somebody being creative and involved in comedy and loving to laugh and make others laugh, but also loving to put out real truth that's spiritual wisdom and different things. They can't imagine these things coexisting and being all part of one channel. They just can't imagine that being possible. So they'll say he has to be a shill, or he's just a joker, or he's this, he just makes videos attacking people, he just does this or just does that. I don't just do anything. I do a big combination of things, a myriad of things. That's what I do. Layers upon layers of truth, mixed in sometimes with comedy, with entertainment, with laughter, with characters, with all sorts of creative things. That's how my mind works. And I'm never going to make apologies for that. If you don't understand me or don't like me or like what I do, go away. Change the channel. Go to another channel. Just like flicking with a TV remote, changing a TV channel. Go to another channel. Don't obsess over me. I don't like that. I don't want that. There's something wrong with you if you obsess over me. There is something wrong with you. And there are ones that tune into my channels that are obsessive and deranged. I don't want you near me. Physically, spiritually, I don't want you watching my content. I don't want you around me. There's a few of you. It's not one or two or three. It's a group of obsessive demons. And some of my channel that are regulars still don't understand what I'm talking about. Understanding is very rare in this realm. Understanding, comprehension, people actually taking the time to listen and pay attention and try to comprehend what someone is conveying is extremely rare in this realm. It's not common. It's not the norm. It's extremely rare. Just like manners are not common, morals are not common. Few beings are good, moral, decent beings in this realm, and they show you that. Even if you deny it and shake your head and say, I don't like hearing that, that sounds negative, that feels negative, why don't you start saying, is it true or not? Am I going to start facing the truth for once of what's around me? You should do that. Try that. Try to toughen up. And with honesty and courage and real, true spiritual eyes, look at the realm as it is, not as you wish it to be. Don't use wishful thinking and hopium. Just look at it as it is. When you look at an ant, don't pretend that the ant is something other than if it's a black ant or a red ant or a fire ant or a large ant or a piss ant. Don't say to yourself, oh, that's not an ant, that's a dolphin. Just look at it as it is and try to observe reality that way in this realm. And you'll start seeing that most beings are not good, decent beings. They are followers of evil, defenders of evil. And sometimes they'll smile and pretend to be quote unquote nice to get a tip if they're a delivery person or a waitress, some server, maybe at a coffee shop where there's a tip jar or there's a way to tip them electronically using your debit card when you pay or with cash. It's for tips. And outside of work, they're not that way. If you've ever known a bunch of waitresses, servers as they call them now, I've known airline stewardesses, okay? Some pretty ones in my lifetime. Some I knew before they became that. And some of them looked essentially like models, but not stick thin or rail thin models. But I've known some throughout my life going back into my teen years. And some of my sister's friends. My older sister had several friends that were like models. And one was a model that traveled to various countries. And one also wasn't a model, but had the looks of a model, the body and face of a model. Not manly. I'm talking about a woman, not an invert. And she was very good looking, but not a good being inside. All right? Not a good being. And was vain. She was aware of her looks. And she became an airline stewardess for a big airline. There are beings that are not super attractive that come across as decent beings. But it's rare. It's rare to find any being in this realm that won't betray you, that has real values, that's loyal. Loyalty is a rarity. I'm going to say that again for you in case you weren't paying attention, which I know is also rare. Loyalty is a rarity. Those with attention spans are rare in this realm. Very few can pay attention for 3 minutes, much less 33 minutes, and 33 seconds just went by. 33. Look at this image on the screen. This matrix is like a web. And so is the internet a web, the World Wide Web and internet. But most things in this realm, whether they're named net or web, are that way. They just are that way. Now, it's not Moon Day, Monday, but Happy Moon Day. I moon you. And this is artistic. This is perfectly fine for YouTube. It's artistically done. So relax. Try to relax a little bit. Just try to relax. It's artwork, and it's artistic, and it's perfectly fine to show in this video. There are differences in beings. There are differences in people's memory. Some of you can't remember 5 minutes ago. Some of you can't remember yesterday what you had for lunch. Some of you can't remember your dreams. Some of you can't remember your childhood. But some of us can. We're not all the same. Most beings on Earth can't remember being in the womb or being a baby, a newborn, or being in a crib. Some can. It's rare. But we're not all the same. You got to get beyond this believing, well, you're human. You're human, ain't you? You're human like I am. You got a meat suit. You got skin. You're flesh and blood. We's all the same, ain't we? We's just all the same, us human beings. We're all the same IQ. No, we're not. We're not. And it's almost unfathomable to me that so many of you humans can believe that we're all the same. It's ridiculous. You'll look at different hair colors, eye colors, heights. People have different lengths of legs, pant sizes, waist sizes, weight, height, weight, different skin tones, different races, different physicality completely. But then you'll just say without hesitation, we're all the same. It doesn't end physically. We're different in so many ways. It's beyond just physical differences and biological. It extends to mental, intellectual, spiritual differences. Differences in our memories. Differences in psychic abilities. Different values, morals, principles. Spiritual abilities, spiritual wisdom, and spiritual species. And a lot of you just assume, well, you're human, ain't you? We're all the same. We're just human beings. There's one species. There's one race, as they say, these lefties. There's just one race, the human race. And I cringe whenever I hear them say that. It's not even close to being true. It's so ridiculous and absurd and obnoxious and retarded to say there's just one race, the human race. It's ridiculous and stupid. It's absolutely stupid. The same human beings wouldn't say that about dogs. Well, there's just one breed of dogs. There's one breed of cats. No, there's dozens and dozens of types, breeds. Some breeds of Chihuahuas can look so different from others that they don't even look like Chihuahuas. Long-haired Chihuahuas, and there's different types of Jack Russells. There's different sizes from small, medium to the long-legged Jack Russells. There's different sizes of poodles from miniatures to the toy poodle all the way up to the large-sized giant poodle or whatever. Like, there's different sizes of dogs within their own breed. There's all different types of long-haired cats, short-haired, just all different types. Hairless cats that don't even look like cats. Well, these all the same, ain't they? These all cats, or these all dogs. It's retarded. And some of you just listen to that shit. You give no pushback. You'll nod your head up and down and agree and say, yeah, you're right. We're all the same. Some of you just cave into that and you go along with it. It's so weak and spineless. And it's intellectually dishonest. It's spiritually false. And people go along with that shit. You don't seem to with dogs and cats, but when it comes to humans, you're ready and willing to go along with it. And it's so pathetic. And it's so wrong. It's false. It's incorrect. And it's also harmful to people that do go along with it and believe it. I'm not the same spiritually as a fucking cockroach demon that harms the innocent. I'm not the same as what they are. That's harmful programming to have people, including some of you, let your own children believe that we're all one, we're all the same species. It's actually dark and evil and harmful to believe that programming and to go along with it. And it's just unbelievable that some of you, well, it's pathetic and disgusting that you'll just nod your head and say, yeah, we're all the same. We're all just the human race. We're all the same species. No, we're not. If you look at the differences with some fucking guts and courage, you'll notice that we're different. And you'll have to start facing that and dealing with it. Some of you are like emotional toddlers. You can't seem to face and deal with the truth. You can't seem to swallow it and digest it and just fucking deal with it like an adult. Which is why I see some of you as like toddlers. You throw tantrums when somebody asks a question. You're emotionally unstable. And you have arrested development. A lot of humans do. Now, I'm not talking about my team, my moderators, my regulars that show up all the time. For the most part, most of you are very stable beings. But look around you. Look at how triggered people get by a question, or when someone just says simply in a matter-of-fact way, without being mean about it, we're not the same. We're different. They get all hurt and up in their feelers and feelings and triggered and emotional. And they throw fucking emotional tantrums and get angry. And they lash out quite often. You're racist. You say we're not the same. You think you're better than me? You think you superior to me because you's white? You think you superior to us? Is that what it is? It's a realm of demon tards. It truly is. You can't even just speak the matter-of-fact truth that, hey, we're not all the same in this realm. We're different, including in terms of morals, values, criminality, behaviors, impulsivity, spiritually. I can go on right down to blood types, bone density, proclivities to certain genetic disorders. Blacks are different from whites, for example. Bone density, bone mass, the differences between male and female, average height differences. It's on and on. It's endless when you look at it. It's just endless. From the physical to the emotional to the spiritual. There are endless differences, including differences I haven't even noticed yet or researched or looked into. But I notice hundreds and hundreds already. And I'm not claiming I notice all of the differences between, let's say, you and me, or you and someone else, or let's say we have a lot in common on my channel, which some of us do, us compared to full-on demons. The differences are in the hundreds. Hundreds of differences between us and full-on demons in this realm that are in meat suits. Well, they look human. Yeah, but they're very different. Very different. The way they behave, the way they see the world, how predatory they are. There are differences that are observable. The crimes they commit with no conscience is an observable difference. There are observable differences between these creatures and good spirits like you and me, if you're a good spirit tuned in watching this video with me. There are observable differences, and it's hundreds and hundreds. Look at our DNA. We're all different genetically in terms of DNA. The cells in my body are different from yours. Whether you're a good spirit or a demon, we're different. It's not a bad thing to look and acknowledge differences. It's the truth. And if you're a real truth seeker, you shouldn't have a problem with it. You should say, yeah, that's true, and not be upset, and not be emotional, and not angry, and all these reactions that they have. If you're a real truth seeker, you should be able to handle the truth. We have differences in memory. We have differences in the way we see things. I might see a lot of blue in the sky, and I also might see a lot of red and purple and violet and maybe yellow and gold and copper colors in a sunset, and you might not see some of those colors. Staring at the exact same sky, standing 2 feet away from me, beside me, almost shoulder to shoulder, and we're looking the same direction. We're different. Don't get upset. Don't get angry. Don't get triggered. We're different. It's okay. It's okay. And we're different in our experiences in this realm. Some of you don't see or experience the Mandela effect changes. I do. Some of you do. Some of you have experienced different ones from me. It's okay. We're different. We're not all the same. That's how reality works in this matrix. And if you really want to understand where you are and how it works, you'll start accepting this stuff and say, yeah, we are different. And it's okay. It's not a bad thing. When I say we're different, a lot of you feel, oh, he's attacking us. I'm not attacking anyone saying we're different. I'm saying it because it's true. Am I different from my siblings? Yes, absolutely. Am I different from my parents and my grandparents? Yes. Am I different from my girlfriend? Yes. From my past girlfriends? Yes. Does that mean that I hate them? No. No, it doesn't. It means we're different. So don't treat it like it's an attack. And again, we're different in terms of how our minds work and our memories and spirits. We're not all the same. And if you really want to understand how shit works, you'll have to at least get to that step and say, accept it. It's acceptance. Yes, we're different. And it's okay. And be secure within yourself. Don't get all angry and jealous and envious and hateful and angry and insecure and triggered because we're different. Just say, yeah, we're different. Differences are fine. I don't have great big titties like this Asian, this Oriental on the screen. We're different. We're different. Now, I don't know if those are natural. It's AI, so I don't know if those are naturals or if she had surgery, but we're different. We're different. I don't have long, raven-haired, raven-colored dark hair. We're different than this chick on the screen. It's okay. It's okay. I hate to treat you like you're a child, but so many people get so upset over being told we're different and having differences pointed out. It's really incredible. And I hope one day you get to appreciate differences and embrace it. At least accept it, even if you can't embrace them the way I do. I do tend to embrace them, and I embrace them with humor. I'll talk about Chinese takeout food and say, ching chong, ching chong. Does that mean I hate Chinese people or Chinese food? No, not at all. In fact, I'm very friendly to Chinese people, and I say how much I enjoy Chinese takeout food. Don't hate them at all. No hate for them. None at all. When they say, we love you, Stephen, we love you long time. You support our restaurant. I love them. I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I hope one day you come to understand what I'm speaking about here. I don't assume that everyone gets what I'm saying because of the reactions I notice quite often by people on YouTube during my live streams and the live stream chats, in comments. I think a lot of people are easily triggered, easily offended. Me love you long time. And I'm saying that to my viewers, to my cult. Me love you long time. And I do. And you know, I really don't like spiders that much, to be honest. But I'm showing you something. I show you everything. Everything. I show you everything. And I try to show you things. But whether you learn or not, a lot of that's up to you. If you can say, wait a second, he's showing me all these images. Maybe there's a reason for these red and black images and all these spider webs. And maybe it doesn't mean that Stephen's evil and dark occultist and jump to these fucking paranoid conclusions like Team Evil loves to do. Maybe you should do something other than that, if you can. I don't assume everyone in this realm can do that, because I know a lot of baby truthers are super paranoid and they jump to these conclusions immediately, and they really don't care what's true. They just want to vilify someone and demonize someone like me. And they especially want to do that out of bias and envy and hatred. Don't you see the beauty? I do. Even in whether she's Asian, there were Hispanic, Latinas in this video, there's Asians. I'm just highlighting the dark-haired women in this one, black and red. Black hair colored, very dark hair. Black and red and spider webs was really the theme of this. Black and red combination and spider webs. And I know some of you that feel clever will say, oh, Stephen, didn't you say black and red or red and black, that the Satanists and Luciferians love that color combination? Before you've said that? Yes. But you're using it. Doesn't that make you one of them? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Just like if I use the number 33, it doesn't make me a 33 third degree Freemason. It doesn't mean that I've ever been part of Freemasonry, because I haven't been. See, some of you got to start getting beyond the paranoia. Thinking more, jumping to conclusions less, assuming less, thinking more, studying more, realizing I've made thousands of videos to try to help you. Look at the totality of my work and don't jump to stupid conclusions like a paranoid fool. And that's what a lot of baby truthers do, which is why I don't want them around me in life at all. I don't need them around. Look at the beauty here. Look at this voluptuous Oriental with the red lipstick and very dark black hair, raven-colored hair. Raven. Look at this one from behind, showing her curves, showing her booty. Look at that. Red and black. And that's an occult symbol there, woven into that web. I do try my best to show you things. I don't assume that everyone will see what I'm trying to show you. I'm not a fool. I've experienced so many in this realm not seeing. But I do try to show you. Our minds are not computers. Our brains are not computers. I don't buy that our memories are stored in the brain, in the meat, in the flesh, in the meat suit, in the organ that is a brain. I don't believe in a mind wipe or a memory wipe. I think that's false. And I think it's proven by how this realm operates and how some of us have pre-birth memories and some of us have past life memories that have been reincarnated here. Some of us also have past life memories or memories outside of this matrix of being somewhere else, not just another previous life here in this realm, but memories of being out of this matrix before we were here. And it's so much better. It's glorious outside of here. This isn't all that there is. This isn't the universe or all that there is or the whole multiverse or anything. This is a tiny fucking matrix as far as I see it. The great unknown is worth the risk. Freedom is risky. Freedom is worth the risk. And that's what I'm going to call it outside of here. It's not the astral realm. That's within the matrix. So is the void or different voids. Those are all within this matrix. Within this black cube matrix. The astral realm, other levels, other dimensions. There could be other hell realm earths within this. And voids that feel very good. My goal is to leave the entire matrix, to go into the great unknown, not just to pass on to, as Darius J. Wright says, the other side, the other side. Well, that's within the matrix. That's not freedom. That's still within the matrix. I'm not settling for that. I'm leaving the entire matrix when I leave here. I'm going into the great unknown. And I will have my own kingdoms, my own paradise, my own freedom, my own realms, my own imagination. I am my own sovereign free spirit. I am my own magical eternal being. I am my own being. And if you don't remember, you don't remember. But I think you would be wise to say this person is speaking the truth, even if you don't remember it yourself. If you want freedom, you might not necessarily remember what I remember and see. But that's what having faith in a leader or trust in someone that has a track record of speaking truth and trying to do good for others and trying to help others see more. I'm not asking you to follow me. You can choose whatever you want. I'm saying choose wisely. I encourage people to choose wisely. I encourage people to choose freedom. I encourage people to oppose evil and not to settle for slavery. And I know where I am. I know I'm in a realm full of slaves with slave mindsets by the behavior that I witness. I observe it all the time. Humans have a slave mindset. They settle for slavery, and I won't. I won't settle for that. Freedom is risky. It's worth the risk to me to go out beyond this, outside of this matrix. I will fight for that, and I will do whatever it takes. I just won't describe specifics. I don't need to. But nothing is off limits. I'm going to Never settle for slavery. I choose freedom. Freedom is worth the risk. Freedom is worth the battle, the fight, the risk, going into the great unknown, whether you're afraid or not. That's what I'm doing. I'm not making anybody do what I do, see what I see, or follow me. That's all up to you. I hope that you do choose wisely. I hope that you do choose freedom. I hope you consider what I have shared with you here in this video. Our memories have been quarantined. I don't believe our memories have been wiped out or our minds wiped. That doesn't add up. I think my theory makes far more sense. Thank you for watching. Mad love and strength to all good spirits. Take care. Choose wisely. I will see you soon. Bye for now.